Hey everyone, welcome to the channel for another Escape from Tarkov video. In this one, I'm going to talk about the best ways I've found so far to make money using your hideout. The hideout is one of the newest features added to Escape from Tarkov in the 0.12 patch, and in my opinion is one of the most interesting things they've added to the game so far. Not only does it add a whole new level of progression outside of raids, it also comes with a whole bunch of options for crafting that can save you money, get you gear, and most importantly, help you make a whole lot of profit. The hideout takes quite a bit of investment and time to get fully upgraded, but once you start making some serious progress on it, the amount of money you can make just using the hideout is pretty substantial, so it's definitely worth upgrading as soon as possible. So with that out of the way, let's go over some ways you can make a good profit using the hideout in Escape from Tarkov. So I figured I'd talk about the med station first, because at the time of releasing this video, it's undergoing some changes and I think it's best to get that out of the way in the beginning of this video. Currently, the option to take 2 car medkits and break them down into piles of meds has been removed from the med station temporarily, which makes it pretty difficult to produce meds right now. However, the devs have confirmed this will be added back to the game once they tweak it a little bit, so this will eventually be a viable option again, and hopefully pretty soon. When you can craft piles of meds, however, one slow but steady way to make profit is to just repeatedly break down car medkits and turn them into IFAKS at the med station level 2. It only requires 2 piles of meds and 2 army bandages to make 2 IFAKS, which means you can almost double your money by just breaking down car medkits into IFAKS and selling them on the flea market. This method takes a bit of time, as you need to craft a ton of IFAKS before listing them on the market for a big payout, but it's very consistent and you can easily just keep purchasing car medkits and transforming them into IFAKS as much as you want. This next one uses the workbench level 1 to continuously craft the blue gunpowder used in the ammo case trade from mechanic level 1 to make a quick 50 to 70,000 ruble profit every time the traders reset. You can trade 4 of these blue gunpowders and 1 green gunpowder to mechanic for an ammo case, which sells to therapist for about 120,000 rubles. Conveniently, you can produce blue gunpowder with 70 rounds of 5.45 PS ammo at the workbench level 1, which works out to about 5,000 rubles per gunpowder. Next, just either buy 1 green gunpowder on the market or find it in the raid, trade it for the ammo case, and sell it to therapist. This trade usually nets me about 50,000 rubles profit, and up to 100,000 if I can find the green gunpowder in the raid. Everyone who builds the hideout needs a ton of wires to upgrade various units in the hideout, and you can take advantage of this demand by crafting a crazy amount of wires and selling them on the market. The workbench level 1 lets you break down 2 power cords into 8 wires, and if you sell those wires on the flea market, you can usually get around 8 to 10,000 rubles for each one. Power cords are pretty common to find in raids, so this one is actually pretty reliable. I usually wait until I have about 6 or 8 cords and then turn them all into wires and get a nice payday off the flea market. This single entry actually covers 2 separate crafting options at the workbench level 3 for high tier ammo that can make you a pretty nice profit if you craft them in large numbers and sell them while the market's hot. Players with lots of money are always going to want to buy the best ammo, and with the recent price increase and buy limit changes to this ammo, it's now more valuable than ever to sell it to other players. With that in mind, it's definitely worth your time to look into the crafting options for high tier AP ammo at the workbench. First off, you can craft 130 rounds of M61 ammo using 3 red gunpowder and 1 helix coil. I see these rounds selling on the flea market for upwards of 800 rubles per bullet, and sometimes up to 1,000 rubles. So off of a roughly 70,000 ruble investment, if you bought all of the crafting materials on the flea market, you can potentially make up to 130,000 rubles or more if the market's right. Next, you can craft 150 7N39 AK rounds using 1 gunpowder of each color. Again, this is an average investment of about 70,000 rubles if you get all 3 gunpowders off of the flea market. I see this ammo on the flea market going for about 600 to 900 rubles per bullet depending on how many are available for sale, which means you can make between 100 to 130,000 rubles from selling off the 150 bullets you craft, which is at least 30,000 rubles pure profit off of each crafting run you do. You can also craft M995 ammo using 1 green gunpowder and a tank shell, and 7.62 by 39 BP BP ammo using 1 green gunpowder as well. These ones can make you some profit, but in my opinion, not as much as the other ammo trades. The tank shell really increases the initial investment of the M995, and the 7.62 BP doesn't really sell for quite enough to be worth the time in my opinion. Not saying that you can't make money with those ammo trades, but it will probably be faster and more profitable to do the M61 or 7N39 trades instead. Next up is one of my absolute favorite methods of making big chunks of profit from the hideout, using blue gas cans in the generator and then crafting them into a magazine case once they're empty. You can craft the magazine case at lavatory level 2 from 2 blue gas cans, metal cutting scissors, 3 bolts, and 3 screw nuts, and this case will sell for over 300,000 rubles once it's complete. What I love about this method is that even if you buy the blue gas cans off the market for about 60,000 rubles, the profit is still pretty huge, and you actually get to use the fuel cans before crafting them into the case. That means you basically add an extra layer of profit onto this method. You get to use the gas to craft and make profit, and then turn the fuel cans into a huge profit once they're empty. It's also really easy to find all the pieces for this crafting recipe during the raid, especially on interchange and reserve, so you often don't have to spend anything and just make 300,000 rubles pure profit. Once you get the water collector to level 3, you can craft purified water by simply plugging a water filter into the unit and waiting a few hours. You can usually produce 2 jugs of water from each filter, and they sell for upwards of 50 to 100,000 rubles on the flea market, which can lead to some pretty nice payouts if you collect a bunch of them and then sell them all at once. Water filters are usually cheap enough that it can be worth it just to buy them on the market, but they're also commonly found on interchange and reserve, and I find it easy enough to farm them in large numbers. There's also another amazing crafting option with purified water, but I'm saving that for the top spot on this list. The SCAV case is, in my opinion, the coolest unit in the hideout by far. You can build this after upgrading the intelligence center to level 2, and it allows you to pay AI scavs a bounty in return for them bringing you random loot straight to your hideout. There's 4 tiers of payment options: 600 rubles, 6,000 rubles, 70,000 rubles, or 1 bottle of moonshine. A higher payment means a higher chance of good items, but it doesn't guarantee anything. I've tried all of the payment options multiple times, and to be honest, I settled on just paying them 6,000 rubles every time because it's incredibly easy to make 10 times that amount off of their drops. I routinely get nice weapons, armor, keys, small cases like the ammo or meds case, and rare barter loot off of this 6,000 ruble bounty, so I've just stuck with it and reaped the rewards big time. You won't hit the jackpot every time, but I've easily made back 10 times what I pay the scavs to bring me loot, so I love this hideout module. For the second to last spot on this list, I had to go with the obvious. Building a Bitcoin farm is one of the most consistent ways to make profit using the hideout. Again, you need to build the intelligence center level 2, but once that is done, you basically just insert graphics cards, leave the generator running, and you get bitcoins. Each graphics card you add to the Bitcoin farm speeds up the process, and the farm can hold up to 3 bitcoins before you need to log in and pick them up. This makes it a perfect option for people who only play a few days per week, because you can just log in, get 3 bitcoins, and have some cash to fund the day's raids. The Bitcoin farm has sort of made the price of Bitcoin fall dramatically in Tarkov, but it's still about 110,000 rubles per coin, which is a nice little payday. For the last entry, I have to say that the most money I've made from the hideout is by far from the booze generator, and I would highly recommend you build it and start making big money off the moonshine business. You can't build this thing until you have the water collector at level 3, so it is a late game option, but also an insanely profitable one. With the booze generator, you can create moonshine using 1 jug of purified water and 2 packs of sugar. Conveniently, you can produce your own water using the water collector as I mentioned earlier, so you really just need to get your hands on sugar to finish this recipe off. You can find sugar relatively frequently in the raid, craft it using 2 Alyonka chocolate bars, trade piles of meds for it, or simply buy it on the flea market. This means that even if you spend 140,000 rubles on sugar, you can still make up to 100,000 rubles profit at the end of the day, and if you find your own sugar, the profit margins are actually insane. If you keep up on crafting this every time it's done, you can sometimes make over 1 million rubles off of these sales in a single day, which is is actually kind of nuts for something that's just working in the background. Well, that's about it for my top 10 methods to make money using the Hideout in Escape from Tarkov. I hope you found it helpful and can use some of this advice to go make your fortune and build up a nice bankroll to fund your raids. Let me know if you have any success with these methods, and leave a comment if you have any other good Hideout money-making tips that I missed in this one. I'll be streaming more of my progress in the 0.12 patch on Twitch at twitch.tv/jdogthewise, and it'd be great to have you drop by, so I'll leave a link for that down in the description. Thanks for watching the video. As always, feel free to leave any comments, corrections, or suggestions down below, and until next time, stay safe in Tarkov City. Right about where this grenade's gonna blow. Like, yeah, he's hurting. I hit him once. Another one. Got him. Oh, his buddy's running left, on the fence. Almost to the truck. Good shit, buddy.